not Rovers fans, but it is I, the Blackburn Rovers sees from the future, and I can tell you now, this time next year, it'll be us celebrate our return to the Premier League. So for now, tonight only, let's give it a good old thumbs up and a cheers to Norwich City on their return to the Premier League. That's right, folks, back once again with another match review, this time looking back at Blackburn Rovers' visit to high-flying, promotion-chasing, Premier League-bound Norwich City. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing, and smash that subscribe button and get me bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, whoa, football related, all here under one roof. Now, let's take a look at it in a bit more detail, shall we? The match that did take place at Carrow Road, Norwich City, celebrating their return to the Premier League. 26,848 people were in attendance to watch the Canaries, Farkers boys, going all the Farking way to the Premier League. That's right, 2-1 winners over Rovers, courtesy of 2 early goals in the first 20-odd minutes. Stiepermann with an okay goal, but Vrancic, whatever you want to call him, with a right old perler to make it 2-0. But it looked like it was game over at that stage. But no, up stepped youngster Lewis Travis with his first Rovers goal in the blue and white halves on the 23rd minute to make it game flipping on. And Rovers gave him a game, to be honest with you. Obviously, Norwich have been flying high this season from pretty much, October or something. They've just never looked back. They did have a fucking terrible season early doors, losing their first few games. And if the chairman and the fans had got on his back, that Farker would have fucked off. That's right, he would have fucked off out of here and would have got the sack. But no, kudos to them for sticking by him. And obviously their philosophy has worked out for them. Obviously they brought in a whole host of foreigners into there. A lot of Germans knocking about in this Farking team of Farker. So yeah, the job done for Norwich. They got over the line. And for Rovers, let's look at the grand scheme of things. This time last season, Norwich finished in 14th spot, and that's exactly where we are sitting right now. So if we can get a big old good recruitment over the summer, you never know if we could get into the old thick of things. But anyway, let's take a look at the match in a bit more detail with some of the stats down here. They're obviously Norwich, 24 shots on the night. We had 8 of them. As for possession, they had 57% compared to our 43. They also had better successes with their passing. 80% of their passes reached their intended target. We had 74%. We dribbled more than they did, 15-12. We won more of the aerial battle, 17-10. They won more of the tackles on the ground. They had more corners than us, 11-2. Anyways, take a look at the match. The starting lineups. Krul was in the sticks. Lewis, Godfrey, Zimmermann, and Aarons. McLean, Vrancic, Stiepermann, Hernandez. Buendia was back, and he was very, very influential. And Pukki up top could not get a goal. Why is that? Because he was in Williams' back pocket. That's right. The Canadian, the Flatmeister, was back in between the sticks. He had an okay game. Obviously, no clean sheet for him. And obviously our winning run of 4 games on the spin has come to an abrupt halt. Amari Bell left back, Williams centre back alongside Lenihan, and Bennett at right back. Rodwell, Travis, Dack, Rothwell, Armstrong, and Big DG up top. And to be honest with you, I think a couple of the players. For me, I'm looking at this lineup right here. If I was to have the axe and I could chop out a few players, I'd remove Rodwell. I don't think he's been that great. To be honest with you, the past 2 games, I think we could get better. He's had a good few games for Rovers, but obviously, I think offering him a multi-year deal is a huge gamble. Bennett at right back is a no good. Amari Bell at left back can be good at times, but worrying. Obviously, Leutwiler between sticks, no joy there. So I'd keep Williams in some capacity, keep Lenihan in some capacity. Travis needs to start pretty much game in, game out. Dacky boys decent, Rothwell and Armstrong also decent. Big DG is handy. Is he going to be the main man next season? I don't think so. I think Brereton will get the nod. But anyway, let's take a look at some of my match stats for these bad boys. Leutwiler has 7. He was very active and busy, and he looked much better than he had done in previous games. 6 for Bell, Williams with an 8, Lenihan with a 6, Bennett with a 6, Rodwell with a 5, Travis with a 6, Dack 6, Armstrong 6, Rothwell with a 7, and DG with a 5. You only had 45 minutes of action before big bad boy Brereton came on. Too little or no effect. Or no real effect. Anyway, some more stats for you. Norwich had more touches of the ball, 689 to our 575. They also had more passes, 497 to our 380. and down the bottom of the stuff there, you can see where all the shots took place. They had quite a few on target. 9 on target. Sorry, they had 7 on target. We had 1 on target, and that one went in the back of the net. They also had 9 off. We had 4 off target as well. But anyway, I digress. Quick look at the heat maps here for you. If you're a heat map man just like me, looks like Leutwiler was one of the busiest men on the field today. That's where the hottest spot was on the old field. Quite good coverage as well by both sets of teams. What else went on around the championship? Well, I think all the major talking points are pretty much sorted. Looks like Sheffield United and Norwich are going up. I still think there is a mathematical chance that Leeds could get in there, but it's going to be a long old ask. As for the drop zone, Millwall are, well, it looks like Rotherham are all but done. Bolton and Ipswich are done. But anyway, the results. Millwall had a 0-0 draw against Stoke early in the kickoff. Bolton-Brentford was postponed, possibly not even going to ever take place, because of Bolton players aren't on strike at the moment with all the dealings that are going on over there. So, right old shambles. West Brom with a 2-1 win over Rotherham, which pretty much sends them down. Swansea City 2-2 draw with Hull. That ends probably Swansea's faint hopes of playoffs. QPR 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Middlesbrough 2-1 winners over Reading. That gives them a boost for outside shot at playoffs as well. Birmingham 1, Wigan 1, Preston 3, Sheffield Wednesday 3. Goals galore in that one. Bristol City, again, they've got it all to do. They do have a game in hand, though, this week to maybe squeeze back in the playoffs. They lost to Derby 2-0. Sheffield United beat Ipswich 2-0. And, of course, the game of the day was at Carrow Road, where promotion winners Norwich City come out top 2-1 on the night. Here is that table for you. So Norwich are on 91 points. The title is still up for grabs. And if Norwich lose their last game, Sheffield United win, the title will be going over to Bramall Lane. Leeds they could have a lot of egg on their face at the end of the season. It looks like they are playoff bound with West Brom, Aston Villa, and one of either Derby, Middlesbrough, Bristol City. So that's it. Those 3 are battling out for the one spot. As for the drop zone, we know Ipswich, Bolton, and Rotherham are down. There's no if, ands, or buts for that. That's secure. Rovers are in 14th spot. A win for them in the final game would get them into 12th, possibly, depending on what else goes on. Not a bad return indeed. What goes on next weekend? Well, obviously we'll take on Swansea at Ewood Park. Final game of the season. It's final home game as well. That's for our opposition today. Norwich go to Aston Villa. Ooh, tasty one there. Meanwhile, Nottingham Forest will take on Bolton. Maybe not. Sheffield Wednesday will take on QPR at Hillsborough. Derby against West Brom. Reading against Birmingham. Brentford against Preston. Ipswich doomed up against Leeds. Stoke against Sheffield United. Rotherham against Borough. Hull against Bristol. Wigan against Millwall. And that is just about that. Now, you've heard a little bit of what I've had to say about the match. What did the opposition fans have to say? What did Harvey Monk got up his sleeve as he celebrated Norwich's promotion? Meanwhile, what did the gaffer have to say? He was a busy man after kick-off, but what was his thoughts of his Rovers boys, their performance on the penultimate game of the season?
A bit frustrated, disappointed with the majority of the first half. I think we didn't play on the front foot enough, really. It was a game for nothing for us, really, and we sort of tried to screen and protect a little bit, and so they scored 2 long-range shots when really the midfield should have been pushed up. But so a bit frustrating. We sorted it out at half-time, I think. Second half was a lot better. But yeah, all right, listen, Norwich are a good side, you can't disguise that. They've got some really good footballers, and I think they might do okay in the Premier League. It's if they continue to be as brave as they are and play the way they do, of course they'll obviously play against some much better teams, and they'll have some difficult days, but I think they're a decent team. I don't know why on earth, defenders have to defend. I don't know why the midfield are trying to do the defender's job, really. So maybe you could argue Travis is a young boy, and it's got to play on the front foot. We've always played on the front foot, and tonight maybe a bit of fear early on, I'm not sure, but it's a learning curve for them. Played against the top team in the division, and once we got a grip of that in midfield, I thought we were better and give them some problems, created a bit of anxiety, but not enough, to be honest. But we will be better as we move on, I'm sure. They've got better footballers than we've got in midfield, I'd have to say. So that's what we're talking about, recruitment. Football's all about recruitment. The better players you've got, the better chance you've got to play in a certain style. So It's no good saying you're going to play a certain way if you haven't got the players to do it. So for 2 years we've been pretty attritional, hard working, playing on the front foot, and had a lot of success doing it. I think, as I've been saying for the last 6 weeks to you now, we're going to try and develop a different way of playing, but ultimately you need the technical players to be able to do that, and ultimately that's why we ended up with Rothwell and playing centre midfield today, to try and give us a bit of creativity on the ball and eliminate people with his passing, and at Norwich we've got a team full of players like that. No injuries. So I was trying to help the team be better, and that was all. So that's football. Dack and Graham have been exceptionally good for us for 2 years now, and there's going to be days when they don't play, there's going to be days when they can influence games. Today wasn't one of them days. I am, yeah. If I can finish here in the next 5 minutes, I'll get away before the crowd, hopefully. I'm sure they will improve the squad. It's the football clubs can't stand still. You have to keep doing progression. As I was reading in the programme notes tonight, how Norwich found some players that nobody had heard of before, some Argentinians and some other South Americans, and they're pretty technically good to do that. I've said before, like some Brentford have got some foreign players that on their day can be match winners. We've got to go and look hard and see if we can find the creativity that'll go with our spirit and our camaraderie, which is as good as anybody's in the league, but we just need to help the team moving forward.
Elsewhere, what's going on with the Rovers fans and players alike on Twitter? Let's take a look. Very positive, I must say. Rovers Chat went to say this: in the first 20 or so minutes, I feared the worst for Rovers. However, after Travis' goal, we seemed more settled. Second half was a bit more equal, and we had a few chances. I was impressed by Williams and Lenihan, although he should have been off. He did have a bit of a flying tackle, as well as Rothwell and Chapman off the bench. Let's end the season on a high. Meanwhile, Derek Williams said this: congrats to Norwich, best team I played this season. Thanks to the fans that made the long trip down. Looking forward to the Swansea game to try and finish the season with a win. Talk of Ewood responded: you looked at ease against them, in all honesty, on great form. Northern Rover said this: decent performance from Rovers after tough opening 20 minutes. Good to see a cameo from Chapman. Rothwell good again. Foundations of a decent side are there, just need to add a bit more quality over the summer. Ian Herbert thinks we should add a keeper, left back, centre back, centre mid, centre forward. For me, so that's 2, 4, 5 players. Has to have a squad right there, so that's half a team anyway. Matt Stilto sent this little picture in there, bottom left hand side. Congrats to Norwich on promotion to the Premier League. Played some excellent football and deserved top of the pile. After a poor start though, Rovers grew into the game and were unlucky not to get a draw. Also annoyed by lack of players, thanking the fans at full time. But there was obviously concerns of pitch invasions and all kind of. They don't want to steal the moment from Norwich. This is their time. I'm sure we'll give them when I say we, I'm sure they'll give them a sort of a round of applause, a lap of honour next game at Ewood. I know it's a long old days. They want to get home. You want to get home. No disrespect to the Rovers fans, but obviously it's Norwich's moment. They want to kind of steal their thunder. I do get it. But anyway, Northern Rover gets on here with a double bubble. Norwich finished 14th last season, spent around 6 million this season. Sheffield United spent just over 7. Proves that he can go up without spending huge amounts of money. Just needs a clear vision, proper planning. Well done to both Norwich and Sheffield United. BIFCS.com said this: the second half, a vast improvement, but how some of those Norwich chances were kept out, I'm not sure. Leutwiler much better. Forwards much more mobile with Brereton, Conway and Chapman. DG and BD poor tonight. I thought so a little bit. Rob Young said this: we've got absolutely nothing to be ashamed of tonight. We held our own in that second half, looked like we deserved to be there and showed a lot of promise for next season. Morris Murphy said this: congrats to Norwich on their promotion, but very proud of my team. We are going on the right direction. 1 or 2 signings, maybe 4 or 5 to back up the squad, and that's there. Brilliant performance, learning experience. Our turn won't be far away. Gary Barrett said this: congrats to Norwich, working hard all season, deserves the promotion. Much improved second half on Rovers, just couldn't find a breakthrough. Heather Johnson said this: may have lost, but lots of positives for me. Can't wait for next season. Well done to Norwich. Anthony Baldwin said this: good effort, hopefully it's us that's celebrating next season. Good luck, Norwich City. Alicia said this: gave it a decent go, but Norwich a very good team and deserved to go up. Leutwiler and Rothwell did particularly well for us. Anyway, that's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe. Get your bang out today with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, World Football related. We're all here under one roof. And before I let you get out of here, make sure you check out the old description. Links to my other social media platforms are in there: Twitter, Facebook, and of course the hotly released Patreon page, boys and girls. If you feel that you could offer something a little bit extra to the channel, if you want to help out me provide some support in another capacity besides maximise your viewership. Check out the link to my Patreon page. There are 3 tiers for you to explore, from the academy to the starting 11 and something in between there. So each tiers offer different perks and privileges that you might be interested in. So make sure you check that sucker out. You can join my illustrious gang of me and my boys. Me and my boys, man. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, we go again. Swansea to wrap up the season at Ewood Park. A win would be great tonic, and it'll get us over the 60-point mark, which would be absolutely bonkers. Then hopefully we can build on things next season. Yeah, but yeah, commiserations to Rovers. Congratulations to the Canaries. We'll go again next season. We'll go again next week, but we'll go again next season. And maybe it'll be us that are smiling. Ching ching. Till then, thumbs up, subscribe. Over out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.